Let's go.
Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Madam Web, the fourth installment in Sony's Spider-Man universe. Madam Web made its debut at the worldwide box office last weekend, and it did somewhat well internationally, given the, actual expectations of this movie, but Madam Web absolutely failed domestically. This movie actually only took in $15 million domestically. That is absolutely pathetic when it comes to superhero box office opening weekends. And if you actually look at the second weekend drop off this movie actually had, it gets even worse. For the life of me, I cannot possibly understand why Sony keeps making Spider-Man related movies without Spider-Man being in the movie itself. Then, I don't know what's even worse. Sony making these movies, or like the Shill media constantly trying to make this movie out to be some like cult classic in the future, because there's these articles out right now saying, well, this movie is just going to end up being like a cult classic later on. And there's these other show media websites going, well, this movie, if it actually makes $200 million, worldwide, it's going to be a success. And it's like, well, first of all, I can't predict the future, so maybe this movie might become a cult classic in the future. Who knows, right? This movie had a very similar budget to Morbius, like I pointed out in my other previous Madam Web videos. Okay, guys? So Morbius and this movie have very similar budgets. Morbius had almost the exact same box office opening weekend and second weekend drop off this movie had. Morbius ended up totaling its box office worldwide one at somewhere around $167 million, right? That's also with it being released twice, and it still bombed. So Morbius' budget is around $70 million, bombed at $167. This movie is about an $80 million budget, and they said it needs to be $200 million for it to be a success. Like, that is such a lie. That is such bad math that I actually read that, and I went, you know what? Maybe I just walk into oncoming traffic and just end it all, because whoever is paying someone to write that is an actual idiot, okay? So by that law, that doesn't even work with that level of logic. How would one movie with the same similar budget and same similar worldwide box office outcome be considered a flop, but this one with the same similar budget and potential box office, worldwide outcome in its, actual life expectancy in the box office be not considered a failure? It's just absolutely moronic when you're looking at this. So I'll show you guys this. So I normally don't always do this, and I probably should use more of Box Office Mojo. But okay, as you can see right here, it made about $15 million opening weekend. So I want you guys to also look at this. Big blockbuster tentpoles like this one get to have the max theaters. And people are going to be like, well, what's the max theaters? The max theaters you can put your movie into, at least domestically, is about 4,400, 300 in that range. So this one got a chance to be in 4,013 theaters, okay? And it only took in $15 million. That's absolutely pathetic. That's terrible. That's horrific, actually. Now, domestically, as of week 2, domestically, $36 million, $42 million internationally, about $79 million worldwide. That's completely ass, because this movie's budget is around $200 million, not including marketing. That's the other point I need to bring up, which is people didn't even really bring up Morbius's marketing budget, which would make it even more of a flop. For this movie to have a $100 million budget, for it to actually break even, not counting profit, break even, you would need about $450 million to break even. To get profit, you're going to need to be in like that $600 million range. It's not even probably going to hit even what Morbius has hit, right? So I want you guys to see, we are at the 29th right now, okay? So let's look 4 days beforehand, okay? So 4 days beforehand, The 28th, it averaged $105 per theaters. Averaged $180 per theaters on the 27th. 26th, $103 per theaters. $25, February 25th, $405 Sunday per theater. The 24th, $665 per theater. Absolutely disgusting how badly this movie has fallen off compared to where it started, right there, versus where it's at now. It's averaging $100 in theaters domestically. That is pathetic. And guess what, guys? We are getting more of these movies. We are getting Kraven the Hunter and Venom 3. I have no idea why. Madam Web sees big drop at second weekend box office, but there's a bright side. There is none. CBR, shut up. There is no bright side to this. Good lord, these guys just want to be in the good graces of these corporations that they'll just lie. That is a flop. I don't like doing this, but like if this was a DC film or any other film beside it connected to like Marvel or Disney or Sony, they call this a flop. Let's be honest here. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Madam Web has fallen significantly at the box office with its second weekend in theaters. Per Deadline, Madam Web is looking at a drop to the tune of 64%. So not as big as, Morbius had like a 72% drop off. This one's 64. That's still pretty bad. That's about like where I think Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was at. Compared to its premiere weekend in theaters, the film will drop from the number 2 spot to the number 4 spot by pulling in an estimated $5.56 million for the weekend. It previously opened to $15.3 million. At this rate, Madam Web is on track to reach $35 million. Guys, the Marvels took this in opening weekend. Madam Web took in half of what the Marvels took in opening weekend domestically. That's terrible. With its domestic total by Sunday and with international box office numbers, it will be sitting around 60 million. But we know now it's about almost 80 million, okay? Given that the film's budget reportedly surpassed $100 million and considering additional marketing costs, Madam Web appears to be a major money loser for Sony. Yes, massive money loser. Here comes the shilling. There is a bright side to this bad news from Madam Web. While its second weekend in theaters saw a big drop, that's anything but bright news actually, it is still not the worst that has been seen in recent months from a big budget comic book adaptation. The Marvels, which is a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, had seen a 78% decline with its second weekend. Sony's Spider-Man universe itself has also seen a bigger drop with second weekend box office numbers, as well as Morbius fell by 74%. That's their bright side. Well, this movie didn't actually drop as hard as these other really garbage movies, so that's better for this one. It's like, no, these are all not. I haven't seen the Marvels. I haven't seen this one. I can't comment on those. I've seen Morbius. It's terrible. The Marvels word of mouth is bad. Word of mouth on this movie is bad. This is stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. Yes, the Marvels did fall that far. That's true. That's also true. Morbius did fall that far. But that doesn't make this good. Like, I don't know why people keep doing that. It's stupid. It's like, you'll talk to these dumb idiot DC fans, and they're like, well, Aquaman 2 made more than the Marvels. It's like, that means nothing. That shit flopped too. Madam Web has been hit with bad reviews. What's worse for Madam Web is the critical response, as it has become the lowest rated movie of Sony's Spider-Man universe on Rotten Tomatoes. It currently sits with a score of 13% lower than the previous record-holding score held by Morbius at 15%. This film does have a comparatively much better number with its audience score, though it is still mixed at 56%. Audience being mixed on that means they also probably think it's not that good either, or at least not worth watching. For what it's worth, working on the movie was a remarkable experience for Dakota Johnson. I also doubt that. It looked like she was okay. I mean, whenever you see like any interviews with Dakota Johnson regarding this movie, she looks so uninterested, actually acting like a plank of wood. She recently spoke with CBR about how exciting it was to portray a live-action incarnation of a Marvel character for the movie. Oh yeah, such enthusiasm. It's such a departure from her previous roles, and that helped attract Johnson to the project. Oh, I'm not reading all this shit. This is all just garbage, man. It's stupid. Okay, Madam Web, guys, this movie failed at the box office. I would imagine Sony is gonna stop reporting the numbers on this movie very soon. This is gonna be its third weekend coming up. I'd imagine this is gonna be dropping to, well, they said it held number 2 consistently, but you just look at February 28th on Wednesday, this fell to like number 4, as they said. So yeah, this will be pretty much falling off the face of the earth come this third week. But what do you guys think about Madam Web? Did you watch this movie in theaters? I know I didn't. I watched those other 3 movies: Venom 1, Venom 2, Morbius. No, those are bad movies, and I'm sure not going to get tricked a 4th time with this one. These movies are just like, you go to a Redbox and you rent them for like $2 on a Saturday night when you're trying to get your wife to fucking suck your dick on a couch, because this is stuff you put on that's like Netflix and chill material. But yeah, this movie crumbling at the box office, I am not surprised by that. So thank you guys for watching this video, and make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. I'm MSK, Master Swag King, and I'm signing out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces.